This is the Capital Games Movie Club. I am the Wiz. Today on this special episode, I am going to talk about who I think might win the Oscars in the big 6 categories in 2023. It is Saturday right now. Sunday is the Oscars. And now is the best time right now, I think, to give my predictions to who I think will win in the top 6 categories. That is Best Supporting Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Actress, Director, and Film. This has been kind of a crazy year. The favorites and the people that people think will win has changed hands a couple of times. With the other awards ceremonies that have happened, like the Independent Spirits, the WGAs, PGA, stuff like that, all have had wildly different. There has been some constants, but there's been some differences in who wins, and even then, it's not necessarily a bellwether as to who's going to win, which is kind of a strange thing this year. So I'm going to go over who I think will likely win, who might be the dark horse. So let's start with Best Actress in a Supporting Role. The nominees are Angela Bassett from Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Hong Chow for The Whale, Carrie Condon for The Banshees of Inisherin, Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Stephanie Hsu for Everything Everywhere All at Once. At this point, Hong Chow and Stephanie Hsu are out. There's no shot of them winning. The 3 main ones right now look like Angela Bassett, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Carrie Condon. So when the nominees came out, it looked like it was a lock for Bassett. Problem is, Bassett hasn't been winning any awards since she won the Golden Globe, so that's been put into doubt. The thing that I started reading in some sites, and a thought that I kind of agree with here, I think a lot of people in Hollywood are not really fans of the Marvel movie juggernaut, and they don't want to honor a performance from a movie that A, wasn't as good as the original, and B, is from an actress where they think she'll be back on the stage at some other point. So, with that in mind, I don't think Bassett's winning this. Would I be surprised if she did? No, but I think I'm comfortable enough in thinking she's not going to win the Best Supporting Actress role in this one. So it's going to be between Curtis and Condon, and I think it's going to be Jamie Lee Curtis who wins this. And this is going to be more along the lines of what will be a good storyline, what will be a good narrative here. And the narrative basically is Jamie Lee Curtis is an actress who's had very good performances in other movies, and on top of that has been doing movies for like 40 years now. And it's about time that we honor her for her time as an actress. It's been 50 years. Like, Halloween was in the 70s, right? It's been like 50 years. Oh my god. So she's been doing this for a long time, and what better way to honor her career than give her the Oscar? Personally, I think Condon or Hsu would be a better pick in this. I wasn't necessarily happy with Bassett's performance. It was fine, but it wasn't something like amazing. But if there was a performance in Everything Everywhere All at Once that I think would deserve the award, it would be Hsu. But I personally go Condon on this one. But that being said, I think Curtis wins this award in this. Would I be surprised if it's Condon or Bassett? Not really. But I think right now, I'm not like, I'll say I'm 60% sure. I think it's going to be Curtis who ends up with the trophy. Next up is Best Supporting Actor. The nominees are Brendan Gleeson for The Banshees of Inisherin, Brian Tyree Henry for Causeway, Judd Hirsch for The Fabelmans, Barry Keoghan for The Banshees of Inisherin, and Ke Huy Quan for Everything Everywhere All at Once. This is the hardest lock I have in here. It's Ke Huy Quan's going to win it. Keoghan won the BAFTA for Best Supporting Actor, and I think the reason why is because they want to honor actors from their side of the pond. I think Keoghan is Irish. I'm not entirely sure. But I think that's why Quan did not win the BAFTA. But other than that, it's been Quan the entire time, winning all these awards, from like the Golden Globes to everything else. Like, Quan has been winning everything. And I have no reason to think that Keoghan is going to upset and take Quan's trophy here. I think Quan's a lock, I think. Honestly, I'm comfortable saying like a 99% lock here. He wins. It's not even close. If Keoghan somehow upsets it, I'd be shocked, because personally, I think the better performance in Banshees is Gleason in this. I didn't really dig Kogan very well in Banshees. I know he's a good actor. I was more impressed with Gleason in the movie. But with that said, it's Kwan's. Kwan's going to win this. I really do not see any type of thing where Kwan gets upset in this. Kwan's going to definitely win. Let's go to Best Actress in a Leading Role. The nominees are Cate Blanchett for Tar, Ana de Armas for Blonde, Andrea Riseborough for To Leslie, Michelle Williams for The Fabelmans, and Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once. A lot of people think this is Michelle Yeoh's to win, and I kind of get why. The storyline of honoring this international actress who has been making all sorts of different films in all sorts of different countries for years, that Hollywood is typecasted most of the time, who's had much more talent than she has been allowed to show in her roles in American films. And what better way to honor her for her entire breadth of career than to give her the Oscar for Everything Everywhere All at Once this year, one of the most popular and beloved films of 2022. The problem is that the Academy loves Cate Blanchett, and Tar is probably her best performance. My opinion, it is her best performance. It is a fantastic performance in Tar that she provides in this. That said, the going thought is this is Michelle Yeoh's to win, and Cate Blanchett might lose very slightly, but I gotta be honest, I don't see that. I still see Cate Blanchett winning and getting her third Oscar. And this is going to cause controversy. We're going to hear how the Oscars are racist and all that, which I don't agree with. I'm like, okay, whatever. The Oscars are many things. I don't think racist is one of them. I'm going to lean towards Blanchett winning, but would I surprised if Yeoh gets the win? No, I would not. And would I be upset if Yeoh won? No, I would not. Yeoh is definitely an actress that, when it comes to Hollywood in America, has not gotten a lot of credit for what she's done in the past. But that's also because American film goers don't like watching films from other countries. They don't like, quote-unquote, reading their film subtitles, which angers me. But that said, there has been a theory that I've seen from some that have said this is such a close race that this might turn into an Adrien Brody kind of thing, and I'll explain that real quick. The year that Adrien Brody won Best Actor, it was between Jack Nicholson and Daniel Day-Lewis in other movies, and the theory is that the two main people that they thought were going to win was either going to be Jack and Daniel Day-Lewis. And the way that the Oscars does their voting system is in a rank-based system, and the first place person has to get X amount of votes for it to win. The theory that happened is that both Jack and Daniel Day-Lewis didn't get the required votes to win on their first and second place ballots, which led to Adrien Brody getting enough votes on his third place ballot to win the Oscar. Very few, but some think this is what might happen here. And I don't think that's the case. There's enough of a groundswell here that I think both sides are very passionate about who they think are going to win. This isn't going to be that case with Jack Nicholson and Daniel Day-Lewis, because it was for Gangs of New York and About Schmidt, those a few movies, because there was a contingency that said, oh, Daniel Day-Lewis's performance is great, but it's not in a great movie. And then there is the Jack Nicholson part, like that's a great performance, but it's not a Jack performance, so we're not really comfortable in giving that an award. That's not what's happening here. These are both very well praised performances that even if either win, the other side can't look at that and go, that's not deserved. That's not what's happening. Because if that is the case, the third place vote might either be Andrea Riseborough or Ana de Armas, and that could cause some problem. That would be interesting. But I don't think that's happening. Personally, I think Blanchett wins. And maybe I'm a little bit biased because I think Blanchett performance is better. But I wouldn't be against Yeoh winning. But I think Blanchett wins. Michelle Yeoh wouldn't be a surprise. I would call that my spoiler or my dark horse. But I think with Best Actress, Blanchett wins. Best Actor. Nominees are Austin Butler for Elvis, Colin Farrell for Banshees of Inisherin, Brendan Fraser for The Whale, Paul Mescal for Aftersun, and Bill Nighy for Living. Paul Mescal and Bill Nighy, no chance, so they're done. I want to debate whether I think Colin Farrell really has a chance in this. I don't think he does, to be quite honest. As some people think in this category, if Elvis, because Elvis and The Whale are both nominated for Best Hair and Makeup. And their theory is whatever movie wins that award will probably get Best Actor. I don't agree. I don't think that's going to work on that one. Because I've read a bunch of reviews and I've seen a bunch of people who say that the hair and makeup in The Whale is not great, but the performance of Brendan Fraser is what makes the movie, so it's not that big of a deal. So I don't think that's the case on that one. My pick is going to be Austin Butler. Mine is not I don't think Brendan Fraser's performance is that great. I haven't seen the movie, so I can't say otherwise. I think it's more along the lines of the bias of the Academy Awards. They want to honor a young actor who did a great performance in the movie that is a biopic, which the Academy loves. They love their biopics, okay, especially of musicians. And it's in a movie where he is the main star. He is the star. And it is such a showy, bombastic performance that they want to have that kind of performance be honored in Best Actor. Look for Rami Malek in Bohemian Rhapsody. Ugh, God, I can't. I shudder every time I think about it. But look at Rami Malek. Look at Jamie Foxx in Ray. Look at Reese Witherspoon in Walk the Line. Like, look at those performances. Showy performances about real people. That's their thing that is like catnip to them. They love honoring those types of performances. Brendan Fraser has gotten a lot of praise for his performance, but there are problems. There's been hit pieces throughout the entire time of this going on about the movie being fatphobic, about the performance not being that great, about the movie not being that great. The thing that with the Academy Awards is they really do not like to honor movies that are bad. They really don't. And if there is the slight feeling that, oh, not everyone loves this movie, or this movie is not so great, even though the performance is fantastic, they don't like to honor those movies. That is kind of The Whale right now, because The Whale, I think the only few the rewards it's gotten is the hair and makeup. It got actor, Best Supporting Actress. I don't think it got any writing awards. And it didn't get Best Picture. So that right there says that the Academy does not feel that it is a movie that is worthy of getting an award, even though Brendan Fraser's performance is apparently very good in this. So that's my feeling on it. And this is also the thing of Austin Butler is a hot property, is somebody that is going to be doing this for years to come. They don't know if Brendan Fraser is going to keep doing this for another 10 or 20 years. They also don't know if Brendan Fraser is not going to have another great performance. This could be a wait and see kind of thing where they say, okay, that was great. Let's see you do another one. Let's see if you're really back. Let's really see. If you can do another one, then we'll honor you. But if you can't, oh well. So I think Austin Butler wins. And I think if there's going to be a dark horse in this, it's going to be Colin Farrell. Would I be surprised if Fraser wins? Not really. But I think Austin Butler wins Best Actor in this. It's not like a thing I have against Brendan Fraser. It's just that with the dynamics and what the Oscars usually honor, even with the new influx of people they have, I think this is Austin Butler's to win. So I will say Best Actor goes to Austin Butler. Best Director, the nominees are The Banshees of Inisherin for Martin McDonagh, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Daniel Kwan and Daniel Schneider, it's the Daniels. The Fabelmans, Steven Spielberg, Tar, Todd Field, and Triangle of Sadness, Ruben Östlund. This is between the Daniels and Steven Spielberg, I think. And I think Steven Spielberg wins this. A lot of momentum is on Everything Everywhere All at Once. I get that. I really do. But the Academy loves Steven Spielberg. I mean, this guy gets Academy Award nominations for movies that are meh at best. Who remembers War Horse? Who remembers War Horse? Anybody? No, of course you don't. But he got nominated for Best Director anyway for that. There are movies that he gets nominated for. He doesn't win, of course. And someone will point out he hasn't won in 10 or 15 years. True, he hasn't won, but he gets nominated constantly. Hollywood and the Academy loves Spielberg. and they're going to want to honor him in his most personal film that is also about the art of filmmaking, another thing that the Academy Awards loves to honor, which is good movies about the movie industry. Let's look at, let's look at the artists. I think if there is going to be, if Everything Everywhere All at Once wins the Best Picture, which I'm also not sure of, and I'll get to that, I think it's going to be a split. I don't think they're going to give the Daniels the Best Director on this. I think it's going to go to Spielberg, mainly because they want to honor him one last time. I'm going to say this, and I'm probably going to be wrong. What are the odds he gets nominated again? Where are the odds that he has more bites at the apple? When is he retiring? Isn't he retiring soon? He might retire soon. So this is the best way for the Oscars to say, hey, it's been a great run, Steven. Here's your Oscar for a third one. Vaya con Dios. And then we may never see another award nomination from him again. Well, that's probably not going to happen. He probably will get nominated again. But that'll probably be the last award he wins. So I think this is the Academy going right to Spielberg, giving him the best directing win on this over the Daniels. My personal opinion of the one, I've only seen 3 of them. I've seen Banshees, Tar, and Everything. I think Todd Field was the best directed of any of these movies. I think the writing was really good on the Banshees of Inisherin, but I loved how Tar looked and how it felt and everything. So I personally would say Tar, but I haven't seen The Fabelmans or Triangle of Sadness yet, and I'm kind of lukewarm on Everything Everywhere. But I think what wins is The Fabelmans. If this becomes a massive sweep and Everything Everywhere starts winning everything in the Oscars, then I could see the Daniels just winning this and it just be a clean sweep. But I don't think that's happening. I think this will be Best Director will go to Steven Spielberg for The Fabelmans on this one. And finally, let's get into the last one. Best Picture. The nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fabelmans, Tar, Top Gun Maverick, Triangle of Sadness, and Women Talking. This is a little weird. In the beginning, when this was announced, I thought it was going to be a 3-way between Everything Everywhere, The Banshees of Inisherin, and The Fabelmans. That is not how it's shaken out. Right now, it looks like it's going to be between Everything Everywhere and All Quiet. All Quiet won the BAFTA for Best Picture, which was a surprise to a lot of people when that happened. I think Banshees has lost all of its momentum. I don't think it's getting anything. I do not see The Fabelmans winning unless The Fabelmans start racking up awards in other categories. I just don't see that. Tar has no shot. Triangle of Sadness, no, I don't think so. Women Talking barely got nominated for anything. I don't see that happening. Avatar, nope. I don't think Avatar goes anywhere. Well, this is a strange one. Maybe. I'm going to say no, but would I be surprised? So let's look at Everything Everywhere, All Quiet, and Top Gun. I do not think Top Gun's going to win, but remember when I mentioned the Adrian Brody thing? Here's my thought process on what's going on right now. The Academy bolstered its membership with a bunch of young, fresh, and different thinking talent in the past, I would say, 10 years. That's why the types of movies that are getting nominated are being more diverse in this one. Not just diverse in skin color, but diverse in the types of movies that it is. So we have a lot of films from Japan, Germany. A lot of films that are foreign language films are suddenly getting in. That's why All Quiet is in this. And Triangle of Sadness got in. If it weren't for that, we wouldn't see these movies in here. That being said, there is still this old school notion of what a good movie is. And from what I've been reading, the older set doesn't really like Everything Everywhere all that much, whereas the younger set is championing it. While the older set is more about All Quiet, and they are kind of ignoring Everything Everywhere. Here's what I think happens. If I were to choose one movie that wins, I would say Everything Everywhere, but would I be surprised if All Quiet won? No, I would not. That said, why I mentioned the Adrian Brody thing. This thing could happen, okay? So do not be surprised. If the votes get so close that the group is arguing as to who deserves it, I can see a point where Top Gun Maverick wins. Here's why. We have this young group that is all about everything everywhere. We have this old group that's all about all quiet. They don't vote in a monolith necessarily. There are going to be some who are going to vote for Tar. There's going to be some that vote the Fablemans. So that vote will be diluted. I don't know what the requirement is for it to win on a ranked choice voting system. So I don't know that. But I think what might happen, I'm not going to guarantee this, but I think what might happen is that the young set goes everything. The old set goes all quiet. They don't reach their threshold on either. And then something like Top Gun or Tar wins. It would be a surprise, but I wouldn't be that surprised when it happens. Because even though I think on the outside, you go to film Twitter and you talk to other film fans, they are all about everything everywhere. Everything everywhere should win. Everything everywhere should get everything. Everything everywhere is the movie of last year. That's not necessarily what's being talked about right now. A lot of insiders, people feel compelled to actually vote for Everything Everywhere because that's what everyone's talking about. But if they're really thinking to themselves, they weren't that impressed by it. That's what's going on here. Whereas the older set was really impressed with All Quiet on the Western Front and may want to honor that. What is the best tiebreaker? It is the movie that made the most money that year, which is Top Gun Maverick. I still think, to a certain extent, Everything Everywhere wins. Would I be surprised by All Quiet winning? No. But I can definitely see a circumstance where Top Gun or Tar just gets the win. Just by that alone. I would say it would be Top Gun over than Tar. If I were to basically choose who I think will win, I'm going to slightly go Everything Everywhere. Although, in the back of my head, I'm thinking All Quiet might win it. My official prediction is Everything Everywhere. My dark horse is probably All Quiet, but it's not really a dark horse. It is very possible it might win. The Oscars are Sunday, March 12th. I think it's at 8 o'clock. Am I watching it? Hell no. No, I'm not watching that. If there's anything about the Oscars I can't stand, it's the actual ceremony. I can't stand the ceremony, how they do it now. It's absolutely, soul-rending. It's, I hate it. But if you enjoy it, enjoy. But, yeah, I will check out who won when it's announced. So that'll be interesting with what happens. I am not expecting an Everything Everywhere sweep. I think in the end, Everything Everywhere might win Best Picture, but I'm not expecting a sweep. But if it turns out that as the night goes, it's not winning anything, then we're looking at an interesting Oscars this year. I will come back sometime next week with my thoughts on who wins. So tune in next time where I talk about what's going on with the Oscars. Me and Zero are doing a review of Black Adam on Tuesday. Me and Kim are doing a review on Notting Hill on Thursday, so check those out, and I'll have something discussing my thoughts on who wins. This is The Wiz for Capital Games Movie Club. Talk to you next time. Bye.